Welcome back to Switch to Linux. We are back on Friday's news. And today we're talking about the Dutch privacy laws. Looks at Windows 10 and says, But before we get into that, we're going to have a few different issues here. We're going to look at the topic of privacy. We're going to look at the topic of bad business. And I found one article is just too good to not say, okay then. Quite intriguing. So we're going to go ahead and jump on over to these articles, starting in on privacy. Oh, this is an exciting one here. You can now order food on Facebook. Great! More things for Facebook to track. I mean, come on. They know our eyeballs. They got our fingerprints. They know every friend we have, every phone number we've ever had, everything about us. They buy a whole lot of leaked data from Equifax. They bought it and, whatever. They did all that kind of stuff. And now they even know what types of food we like to eat. This is awesome, folks. Now Facebook can keep a solid track on everything that we are doing. I'm telling you, Facebook themselves, they got everything. So basically what they're doing is partnerships, probably starting with bigger corporations and moving into smaller areas. Maybe things like in our area, we have a thing called Order Up. One app and whatever else on your phone, device, whatever. You can use this, and basically it's a troop of delivery people in our whole town. They can go to any participating store, pick up what you want, and drop it off to you. Basically means that, you used to have to call in for a pizza and everything else. Maybe pizza and Chinese could be delivered to you and nothing else. Now, with Order Up in our town, pretty much everything can be delivered to you. As long as the company chooses to participate, and there's no reason they wouldn't. It doesn't cost any different from them. It's just that the customer gets charged the extra surcharge for the delivery. So you get that going. This is Facebook's kind of working on that similar principle, and I didn't see if there was actually delivery for this type of stuff, but basically you've seen a lot more of these companies are now conglomerating all sorts of things together. They're putting all sorts of things together in ways so that you could just pretty much order the thing on their own individual app and then come on by and just pick it up. Kind of just a quick, easy way. In fact, I remember the first time I really used any system like that. It wasn't an app, but was it Pizza Hut or Domino's? I forget, where you could actually start to order online and have it delivered. That was actually a fascinating thing. You can order a pizza online. We used to go. It was kind of fun. The town I used to live in, there was a library had a LAN party once a month, and so we'd have a whole bunch of guys there. And I mentored a lot of teenagers at that time, and they'd all be there. So I'd be like, "Hey, I'll buy pizzas," and of course, I'm not buying pizzas for everybody, but I'd buy pizza for the few kids that were there that I was mentoring. And so we'd order in and say, "Yep, we're just at the library. All right, sounds good." And so you had that kind of fun stuff going on. And this is kind of the same thing, only now everything's through Facebook. So obviously Facebook's probably going to get a very small cut of the sale. Kind of like Amazon will get the Sheets will get a small cut of Amazon's gift cards when you reload a gift card. And that's just part of Amazon's cost of doing business. But what concerns me about this with Facebook is that, Facebook already tracks pretty much everything about you. And now they're going to be tracking the types of food you like to eat and the places where you like to order from too. And so this, to me, is a little bit of a concerning thing. Of course, it's very nice. You can come over here, order your food. Best eats in Austin. Yeah, Austin's a scary place. I spent too much time there. But pretty much anybody that was listed on there, you could go in there, start the order right through Facebook. Ingenious for sure. But I'll tell you, it's just, I don't think we need Facebook having more of our data. So that's exciting. And of course, next on the privacy thing, let's go ahead and get a little bit of an update on this Google Home, the Google Home Mini, I guess it is. So we'll talk about some of the things that went wrong with this, some of the good things, some of the bad things, some of the concerning things. So the Google Home Mini came out, one reviewer, it might have been Ars Technica, or maybe it was somebody else, I forget. Somebody came out with an article on this, and they actually came out and said, this is like the gateway drug to using OK Google. So we have to do it, obviously. OK Google, order some unicorn meat. All right. Had to get that out of my system. And may as well, Alexa, order unicorn meat. All right, there you go. So if anyone's listening to me, there you go. You got some unicorn meat coming to you. So Basically, what happened is a researcher who was reviewing this, Google sends a big name product reviewer one of these things, and he looked at it and said, that thing, the trigger light keeps on going on and off. And so he set it by the TV and let it run all day. And then he logs into Google and checks out his system, and wouldn't you know it, the thing was recording all day long. Now, obviously, I take a strong stance against all of these things. I don't even walk by that part of the store. Like, our local Wegmans store is selling Echoes for some reason. Amazon Echoes. I don't even walk near that part of the store anymore. Okay? It's creepy. No. You keep your telly screens. Keep your voice monitoring devices. Keep all of that crap to yourself. I don't care. No, I don't want anything to do with any of it. But this thing was perpetually on. Now, I'm against all of these things. I don't want anything that's constantly there listening for a trigger word, because it could always, in theory, always be on. That's what was behind that Amazon Echo murder case about a year and a half ago, when the police said, hey, we need all of the information off of this Echo. See, hear what else was going on in the room. That's kind of creepy. Now, of course, the only time something is sent out to Amazon, or in this case Google, is when the trigger is activated. Well, what happened is this thing was on perpetually, constantly, basically sending every bit of information up to Google. Now, this was not an intentional thing. There were a small amount of the devices that were malfunctional, and so what Google did is they pushed an update that bricked the top functionality. So basically, there was a functionality on the top where instead of saying the trigger word, you could push the top and then say whatever and it would record. There was a misfunctionality in that button, and so what Google did is they bricked all those top buttons. So the top button on those doesn't work anymore. That's what they did to fix it, because that was not intentional. But that's the thing to remember. Think about all this technology that's doing this. We have to stop and slow down with this stuff, because this is the possibility. This is just an unintentional little bug, and it resulted in the thing picking up every noise it heard in the room and storing it on the servers. So it has been updated, it has been fixed, and actually they fixed it way faster than anybody anticipated them fixing it. And so that is that. So this is an exciting one. Yeah, Equifax has been leaking up more bad stuff this time, redirecting to a fake flash update. At what point in time can we just let Equifax die? No, actually, scratch that. Can we let Equihacks die? Okay, this is no longer worthy of a company being called Equifax. Their new name for all eternity is Equihacks. Okay, Equihacks. That's it. As long as this company exists, they will henceforth be called Equihacks. All right, so basically, a researcher is looking at the Equihacks site, and they realized that some ads and things and other pages on the site were forwarding people to a fake Flash installer. Look at this URL, kentonberry.info. Yeah, that's exciting. And so pretty much Equihacks was starting to send things out. Now, of course, they responded well on this one. They took that part of the site down. Just fold your business and quit. Of course, don't forget that the IRS had actually had a no contest deal with these guys to verify and secure everybody's identity for tax time this year. They did finally announce that they're going to put in it, and it wasn't today. I don't remember. Maybe it was yesterday. I forget. It was very recently. They did finally decide, we're going to pull the hold on this while we look into this a little bit more. Okay, if the IRS even has to look into this, I say we just abolish the IRS. Okay? No. We don't need Equihacks to verify the data. Equihacks has proven themselves incompetent with holding our data. Equihacks should be closed down, and every asset that they have should be equally distributed among all of the people whose data was hacked. Equihacks does not deserve to be in business anymore. They violated trust, they cut corners to save money, to enrich their employees, and here's the fun thing, I think that every executive officer, including the ones that have just left, I think everything they own should also be taken away to be distributed equally among the people who were affected by this hack. Only when these fat cats get to feel the pain of their decisions will we change in corporate America. Period. Okay? period. And I'm not against a company doing well. What I'm against is a corporatocracy where the people can't do well and you have no ability, because I've never wanted to do business with Equifax. And in fact, this is interesting. This is interesting because I have on my desk here, it's not put in my system yet, I have in my desk here from Equifax a credit report. Because if you are an American adult and you have the right to go onto each of the 3 major credit bureaus and once a year get a copy of your credit report through annualcreditreport.com, which I do every year and have done every year for about 15 years. I was still going back. So the reason this is up on my desk is that right now I'm in the middle of minimizing my files. And basically I'm scanning every old tax document, every old file, every one of the piles and piles and piles of office stuff stacked up in my closet is slowly getting scanned into digital files. And this is on my desk because it has been scanned. But as I'm scanning things through, I'm looking back and noticing an intriguing trend. The intriguing trend is that I have never gotten an Equifax credit report off of annualcreditreport.com. Every single time I go there, I fail. In fact, this time, the reason I got this one is right after the Equifax hack, I was eligible to go online for my year and grab my credit report. And guess what? I got my TransUnion, no problem. I got my Experian, no problem. And I got to Equifax, and what did I get? An insecure SSL. I'm not proceeding. And I looked back over my files, and of all of the years I've been doing this, I cannot recall a single time I've actually successfully gotten my Equifax credit report. And I think that they need investigated by the federal government to find out how many other people. In fact, one year, I even went on and paid $1 to get it, which is a complete violation of the law, but I said whatever. And then with that $1, I never signed up to anything, and I read everything. You guys know I read terms and conditions. I read everything on the screen. I read the small print. I'll blow the thing up so I can read it anymore. Not blow it up like bombs. Blow it up as in open the thing up so I can see what's on there, right? And they decided to auto-enroll me into their crappy credit monitoring service. My debit card company, slapped them upside the head for that one. So this is a company that has a very shady past. I don't want to do business with this company. I do not want them having it in my data. And I think if we want a good law in America on privacy, we need to have a right to be forgotten by a company. That if I want to, I should be able to write a company and say, you may not have any data on file with me because we do not have any business together. And that doesn't trigger like what Facebook does and, trigger it to be hidden. I want a technician to go into the database and push delete and purge it from all your backups and everything. I want a right to be forgotten. We need that. We need that. Because Equifax clearly cannot be trusted with this type of information. Oh boy. So what does the Dutch have to say about Windows? Well, of course, there was another case with the French had the same issue. Now, curiously, this was interesting. This is back from June. Curiously, the day before Microsoft's fiscal year, they closed this investigation. It's, okay, you guys are all good now. I hear a corporate scandal. Is that a corporate scandal I smell? I think it is a corporate scandal I smell. Because like one day before the close of their fiscal year, so they were able to report on their fiscal year that no violations were carrying over. This seems very, very shaky to me, especially after what you read in here is that we are committed to protecting our customers' yeah, okay. Guys, when a spokesperson or a community rep is talking, they're lying, okay? That's how you can tell. It's just like a politician. If a politician or if a community representative for a company, you can tell they're lying if their mouth is moving, okay? We are committed to protecting your customers' privacy. Yeah, right. You're committed to lining up your pockets with your advertisers' dollars, okay? And putting them in control of their information. We appreciate the French Data Protection Authority's decision. We will continue to provide clear choices and easy-to-use tools for Windows 10. Clear choices and easy-to-use tools? Okay, you want clear choices and easy-to-use tools? Where is the tool to say, nope, no data collection, period? It's not there. But this is to give you a better user experience. No, it's not. It is to collect data. Whether that data is used right now or next week or next year or in 10 years against you is a different matter altogether. This is a company who is collecting your data, and I do not have the ability. Because I got news for you. As much as we laugh about Windows 95 and Windows 98 and the blue screens of death and how unstable they seem to be, you know what? They weren't collecting any data, and they somehow got it so well that Windows XP was very stable. Windows 7 was very stable without collecting all that data. You do not need to unauthorizedly collect all of this data. You don't need to do that. You don't. To have a good functional operating system. Let the people with the bugs complain, and let those that don't want to report the bugs complain about how bad their system is. You know what? That's fine. As I got another fun news for you. Here in the Linux community, we got a ton of good, stable distros. We got a ton of these. And Linux isn't collecting any data on us. We can get this figured out without collecting a bunch of data. The only time I'll let Linux systems collect data is when I'm running a beta. So when I ran that Ubuntu beta that I hated so bad, I reported every bug I encountered because that's how it gets better. But if I'm running a production computer, you better believe that this computer I'm running here does not collect data. Nope. And that's the way it should be. So specifically, here's the changes on relevant or excess character of data collected. The company has nearly reduced by half the volume of... Okay, I'm not going to pull up the actual list of data that Windows collects on you on the basic level. Okay, I'm not going to do that because I've done that many times. Let me give you the cliff notes. It's about a mile long. They cut it in half. Just for the French people, though, because the French government was complaining. They have nearly halved the collected data in the basic telemetry service. Has restricted its collection to the sole data strictly necessary for maintaining the proper function of the operating system applications and for ensuring their security. For the French people. Bravo, France. Hey, United States, when are you going to wake up and do the same thing? When are you going to pass a law that says, no, we're not going to have mass data collection? Please? Pretty please? With sugar on top? On the lack of the subject's consent. Yeah. Listen to this one. Consent. Yeah. Users are now informed through clear and precise information that an advertising ID... Okay. There is a difference between consent and informing. Let me explain the difference to you. I'm going to have to get graphic. This might be a demonetizable violation here. I walk down the street. I see a woman. I jump on top of her. I inform her she's going to be raped. That's not consent. That's not consent. Consent is, would you like to go to bed with me? And she goes, whoosh, you creep. The answer is no. Users are now informed through clear and precise information that an advertising ID is intended to track their web browsing in order to offer them personalized advertising. Furthermore, the installation and procedure of Windows 10 has been modified. Users cannot complete this installation unless they have expressed their choice regarding activation or deactivation of advertising ID. Moreover, they can reverse this choice anytime. That's that. That's not collecting. That's not the data collection. This is the difference between consent and informing. Consent, yes, no. Informing, we're doing this, like it or not. On the lack of security, the company has strengthened the robustness of the PIN code, allowing users to authenticate all companies' online services, and more specifically their Microsoft account. 2 common PIN code combinations are now forbidden. Okay, yeah, we're not going to comment on the security part. That was France, and of course, they closed the deal with Microsoft the day before Microsoft's close of the fiscal year, which to me looks very shady. So now we're on to the Dutch. What's going on with the Dutch folks? What's going on with the Dutch folks? Well, Microsoft breaches Dutch data protection law by processing personal information of people that use Windows 10 operating system on their computers. This is the conclusion of the Dutch Data Protection Authority, DPA. After the investigation of Windows 10 Home and Pro. That's interesting. So on Pro as well. Microsoft does not clearly inform users about the type of data it uses, for which purpose. People cannot provide valid consent in the processing of the personal data because of the approach of Microsoft. The company does not clearly inform users that it continuously collects personal data about the usage of apps, web surfing behavior, and through its web browser Edge. When the default settings are used, Microsoft has indicated that it wants to end all violations. So if this is not the case, Dutch DPA can decide to impose sanction. By the way, as of the creators update last year, or the most recent creators update, even DRM appears to be stored in the cloud. So if you were to download files with DRM onto your computer, you still have to be connected to an internet connection to view them. That is the way I understand it, at least as far as Napster and WMA files is concerned. Literally, it was in the forums. All of a sudden, my Windows computer updated and I can't get on this. Oh, you're not on the internet. Oh, solution? Don't upgrade. Tell Windows 10 not to update itself. Yeah. I'll get right on that. But apparently, somebody let me know if that's correct for other forms of DRM as well. But apparently, according to the guys at Napster, DRM apparently requires an internet connection as well. So that means that if I download some files to listen to while I'm hiking at the very top of a mountain to write a book, I cannot listen to the files because on top of the mountain there's no internet connection up there. So I have to be on the internet. Well, and then that raises another fascinating question. Remember when they came back and bragged, 7 million pictures have been viewed on our... do you know the content of those pictures too? Is there some creepy Microsoft employee looking there going, oh, look at the picture of these kids playing their hockey game? That's creepy to me. The fact that they know the exact number of photos that are opened inside of their photo viewer is a creepy thing. Okay, this is not data they need to collect to make a system better. And I have a sneaky suspicion they know the content of those photos as well. I have a sneaky suspicion. So in the Netherlands, over 4 million active devices use Windows 10 Home and Pro. Microsoft continuously collects technical, performance, and user data, which apps are installed, and if the user has not changed the default settings, how often the apps are used, as well as the data on web surfing behavior. These data are called the telemetry data. With telemetry, Microsoft, as it were, takes pictures of the behavior of Windows users and continuously sends these pictures to itself. Creepy. Due to Microsoft's approach, users lack control of their idea. They are not informed which data is being used or for what purpose. Neither that based on the data, personalized advertisements, or recommendations can be presented. If those users have not opted out from these default settings on installation or afterwards. It turns out that Microsoft's operating system follows just about every step you take on your computer, and that results in an intrusive profile on yourself. According to Wilbert Thomason, vice chairman of the DPA. What does that mean? Do people know about this? Do they want this? Microsoft needs to give users the fair opportunity to decide about it themselves. And this is the thing. We have to have the option built into Windows to say, no, we're turning it off. I do not want you to collect anything. Does this mean I could have an unstable system that doesn't have the proper updates? Yep. Is that my choice? Yep. I bought this computer. You didn't hand it to me. I bought my computer. Deal with it. I do not want you collecting the data that I'm doing on my personal computer. That's why it's called a personal computer. Okay. Basic and full telemetry. Microsoft offers 2 levels of telemetry. Basic and full. And again, I'm not going to pull up the basic telemetry things. I've pulled that up on my videos before. It is, I want to say, if you can see the size of this website and this scroll bar, imagine the size of a website when the scroll bar is smaller than the size of my mouse pointer. That is literally how big the page is directly from Microsoft's technical documents. So that is that. So, of course, we have basic telemetry, our purposes. So consent, informed and unambiguous. Again, this is not consent, people. Consent means yes, I agree. No, I do not. This is not informed consent. This is informed steamrollering. Hey, guess what? I'm going to run you over with a steamroller. Guess what? It doesn't matter. You don't have a choice in the matter. Die! Die! And this is what Microsoft is doing to its people. And other countries need to wake up. France did something. They tweaked some things for people in France. That's good. Dutch is doing something. They're going to tweak some things for people in Dutch. At what point in time is a major United States corporation or a major United States government panel going to step up and say, we need better privacy rules? No, Microsoft, you may not randomly wholesale collect everything on a person's computer, and you want the ability to switch it off entirely. And here's another fun thing. Did you know that if you know enough about your host's file that to attempt to block it on your host file, Microsoft does not respect the host file when it comes to anything on their servers. I can block specific things in a host file. I can run up TCP view to show every ingoing and outgoing connection, and anything that is directly related to their server in the host file is not respected, and they will still transmit data to that. And so there's effectively, I could probably block it on a router level if I were to put those things in a router level system. And then of course you got folks that just don't make any sense. It's like, you know, obviously I respect Chris Perello's channel, but I spent an entire month watching Chris Perello do nothing about bash how bad Apple products are and how they're going. And I'm thinking, Chris, stop using Apple! See the same thing with Berkeley's. It's like all this Windows 10 tracking. He knows what it does. His best solution: install a third-party app to block stuff. No, I saw what it was doing. I abandoned ship. I went to Linux. If I have to have a third-party program to prevent my computer from checking home, I'm not interested in that computer. That's my take on the matter. All right. For any of you thinking of getting a fascinating Airbnb, just remember that this guy and his wife were secretly filmed at their Airbnb rental through hidden spy cameras. See, I know some people that use Airbnb that are kind of like, you know, I think this is probably an okay thing. I don't know. I disagree. The problem is, individual people are not as easy to hold as accountable and have the potential to be crazy and radical. Unless Airbnb really had a really good way of screening people, I'm not all that interested in staying in a random stranger's house. So basically, these people had multiple spy cameras set up all over their house. This couple finds it. This is actually from the police. Got a copy of the video, and this is them both realizing we're on candid camera. And so pretty much this guy at this Airbnb, he had multiple things in there. It was, quote, for his own sex parties, is what he said. Pretty much he comes on and is talking about how sorry, my phone keeps beeping on me. He keeps on going on the basically he had multiple different things, at least 20 or 30 different videos of sexual activity, but everyone knew they were being recorded. You know, if the people that you're engaging in this with are knowledgeable about they're being recorded, then why are these cameras secret? Hey, if you want to make nasty pictures, like nasty pictures and videos of you and whatever you want to do in your house by yourself, you know, hey, just make sure there's consent. And what do you need secret spy cameras for? Oh, yeah, just to tell you, there's secret spy cameras in here. So, you know, when we're doing our mad whatever. Guys, this is why, this is like, Airbnb is like Uber for hotels, okay? I mean, every single time, don't forget, every single time you have an Uber, or every single time you use an Airbnb, a poor little kitty like this gets a little bit clubby down. Right, kitty? I can't say that much bad about Airbnb, but this is just creepy. And this is the thing. May not necessarily reflect on Airbnb itself, but what it does do is it reflects on the whole matter of this is the concern with renting someone's random stranger's house, that there's too much potential for this. They have too much access. We have too little access. Now, could this happen in a hotel room? Probably. Has it happened in hotel rooms? Yeah, sure. But I think that when you get a big hotel, I think you have there's quite a bit more penalty, regulation, and in many ways accountability for this type of stuff. And so we have to keep that in mind. Oh boy, let's see. Oh, this is an interesting one. Movies anywhere. This is a new Disney product. So basically, as you know, since there's so many different places to buy movies now, like, hey, I can buy movies through iTunes, and then through Amazon, and then through someone else, and then through someone else. Well, now Disney has this Movies Anywhere app. It's a free app where you can basically plug in all of your various other streaming accounts, and you can now have one app where you can stream all of the digital content to your devices. So this is an interesting thing in that only one app, one password to do all this. So that's fine. The biggest problem I see with this, though, is that it doesn't change the ability that I can't have access to the videos that I have bought. It doesn't change access to the fact that if for whatever reason Amazon has a spat with the company that produced this video that I bought, they can pull it off the device. I mean, I'm even checking right now if the people who bought my one book is no longer on Kindle for some reason. I don't know why it's not. And I haven't bothered getting a hold of the publisher because I plan on pulling it from that publisher soon anyway. But I'm wondering, are they trying to retroactively pull that book off of other Kindle devices? I haven't seen that yet, but I also don't log really into my Kindle. So the problem is that this doesn't save or protect your movies. It's basically just a pass-through. What we need, though, in this country is the ability for somebody to take a legal copy of a movie that they legally bought, make a legal digital copy for their own use on whatever device or methodology they want to do it, as long as it's not distributed and not sold to other people. I think that should be perfectly fine and legal. This is just one another thing. And then the other challenge we have with this is now Disney has the logins for all of your other accounts. We don't need more things like this that just collect all of your data and kind of go back and forth. So this is scary of them. Now we got a couple of fun, scary Amazon-y stuff. This is another one of these ones that deeply concerns me. Basically, Amazon now has a place for teens to have their own login that the parents have to approve. So basically, you now can take your account. Your parents have the account. The teens have the account. The credit card is on the account, so the teenager orders something, the parent gets a text message, and then they can reply with a text to approve or deny the order. And what I see going on with this is that this is a way to separate things out so you can better track people. Now, this is not a way to try and get around COPA. I did verify that because COPA applies to children up to age 13. This is for teenagers 13 and over, 13 to 17-year-old teenagers. So it's a way, though, because one of the biggest challenges Amazon has had is to figure out who is the one buying what, and that starts messing with their data. So now, if every teenager in the house can have their own separate Amazon account, and of course, since we all stay perpetually logged into everything, then what happens is now Amazon can track everything down, and instead of one family account used to buy and sell all this stuff, now they can better track down who is buying what. It looks like a measure of control, but you know what? I just think that this is yet another way of technology interfering with the parent-child relationship. I really think that what they need to do is just encourage more real discussion on the dinner table. Hey, I need some new shoes. Let's get on the Amazon account. Or have one Amazon account. Everybody uses the same account. That's fine. And, have this thing called parental discipline. If your child orders something, they didn't have the authorization. Or, shocking, don't give your kid access to an Amazon account that stores a credit card in it. That's another option too. So this to me is a way for Amazon to start separating kids out earlier, build better, more comprehensive profiles, and B, start figuring out who in the family is looking at what, who in the family is ordering what, because again, it's better data tracking. And that is certainly, to me, is a challenge. So this is kind of a way, teenager makes purchase from their own login. Yeah. Oh, it's more convenient. No, it's to track their data. This is to track their data. Parents are notified and review the order. Parents approve the order, and the order is queued for shipment. So teens, you guys can start here. Let's go ahead and have a look at these links here. Let's see what we get. So here's our teen link. Woohoo! Look at all this trendy stuff. Like, okay. This is how you market a website for a teenager. This is how you market a website to a parent. Teenager. Ooh, it's so cool. It's so trendy. Like, what is this thing? Is this a giraffe? What? I'm just scared. What? Excuse me. I'm sorry, I'm back. Do we really need this type of crap? I mean, look at this. This is like so kid trendy. This is your teenager login. Ooh, let's promote the teenager thing. Come on. Ready to get your own? Ooh, send this link to your parents to get started. No. Parent, click here. Okay, so that just goes back to the main parent page. Ooh, what you'll love. Know exactly what they buy. Maintain your privacy. Grow their independence. Yeah, Amazon, we believe you. We believe you, Amazon. Know exactly what they're buying. Maintain your privacy. Ooh, keep your gifts and your things separate from your kid so your kid doesn't get a chance to see. Ooh, grow their independence. No, grow our ability to track what your children do. That's what this is about. Oh, this is creepy. Oh, this is creepy. Oh, this is creepy. Ooh, all right, so next, Amazon wants to go after porch pirates by delivering to your car trucks and inside of your homes. This is kind of the same thing, like, if you've noticed that Amazon and Walmart are inside this embroiled battle where they're just kind of fighting each other back and forth. Well, what's going on here is, of course, there is this issue of porch pirates. People watching, following delivery trucks. They make a delivery to the front porch. No one's home. They realize it's probably something useful in there. And so they go up and they snag the package. Sometimes right as the UPS guy leaves, And so Amazon's trying to fight this. And so now they want to do something similar to like that creepiness Walmart want to do where, hey, a guy's going to show up and stock your refrigerator for you of your groceries. No, that's creepy. But anyway, that's kind of what's going on is they want to have the ability to have, again, that one-time access code to your house. No, thank you. And then they're just going to drop your, go on in and drop your package right inside the front door. Probably after using your restroom, raiding your refrigerator, and plopping down on your couch and watching some bad movies on your pay-per-view. Hey, they are, they're playing keep away. The good news, the bad news is you're going to have a pay-per-view thing. You're going to have probably some, maybe some AIDS-infested guy using your toilet. And then what's going to happen is, they're going to eat all your food, but no one's going to steal your package from Amazon, folks. Your package from Amazon is going to be safe. Absolutely safe. All right. Well, Uber was finally whapped upside the head. One of the 37 lawsuits and violations against them. So basically between December 31st, 2010 and August 17th, 2017, if you happen to receive a text message from Uber that you'd never authorized, you are able to take part in this class action lawsuit. So you can come up to ubertcpasettlement.com and learn about all this. So if Uber has bothered you and you've never given them permission to bother you through your text messages, then go ahead and go here, learn some information. And then the last thing we want to talk about under bad business is just this little thing, little challenge here with iOS. This is a concept. This is not something that has been seen in the wild, but this is actually only takes 30 lines of code to do. So if you are familiar with an iPhone and you have probably seen this pop-up here that is asking for your passwords, this one over here is an official pop-up. The one on the left is the official pop-up. The one on the right is a phishing pop-up. This is designed to make it look just like your iPhone screen and have you enter your password so they can steal your password to your Apple account. Yeah, there's really no difference between those. So that is, this is a proof of concept thing. Here's what it looks like inside of an app. I mean, this is good. He did this in 30 lines of code. And this can be dropped into any application that you drop on an Apple store or sideload into a iOS device. So that's kind of scary. Be warned if your phone does give you some random pop-up if you're on iTunes. Be wary of these pop-ups. Know the action you're going to do should trigger one of these, and don't trigger one of these if you did not do an action that probably should trigger one of these. So keep that in mind as you go into the fun world of I.O. So today is the last Friday the 13th flight 666 to hell. What else can you say? I mean, really. Pretty much there's this airport in, what is it, Helsinki or whatever, with the airport abbreviation HEL, and it's hell. The flight was 666, and of course today's the Friday the 13th. So, yes, today there was a flight 666 straight to hell. They decided after today they're going to change the flight number as, number 945 or something. 954. They're changing it to flight 954. I kind of, I really wish though that I've known about this. I would have paid extra just to take direct flight 666 straight to hell on Friday the 13th. I mean, come on. This is a good article. We have, by the way, in Pennsylvania, we have a Route 666. I stopped and took some photos from it at one point in time. You live 30 kilometers from hell? Sweet. Awesome. Hey, if you send me a picture of hell, I'll send you, I guess, a 666. I got a geocache once called hell. Just kind of crazy. Not a superstitious man. It's only coincidence. Has been quite a joke among pilots. Okay, a pilot flew the route in 2013. It's not a superstition. It's only coincidence for me. By time to time, he's heard the crew were happy to help any passenger who felt uncomfortable or anxious about being on flight 666. Straight to hell, huh? All right. Well, that's a good fun way to end this show. Thanks for watching, folks. Once again, if you would like to help support what we are doing here on Switch to Linux, check out switchtolinux.com/support. You can learn there about direct links through PayPal. I have a Patreon account set up over there. Patrons, of course, this video was recorded as a live stream. The version that will be up on YouTube is going to be an edited version. Patrons will have access to the live stream. And I'm also considering putting in a backdoor access on my main Switch to Linux site as well. Check out that support page to keep up to date on if I choose to do that. So thanks for watching, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.